Hi, Namaskar. Good morning, evening, depending upon which part of the world you are while watching this video. This is Krishan from cloudcomputing.com. I did masters in computer science and carrying 20 plus year of experience in IT industry. Hope you and your family are doing great while you are watching this video. Let's get started. Today topic is virtualization. We will cover two things in virtualization. First we will understand what is virtualization and why virtualization. So we will cover both of these topics. Now, the first thing, what is virtualization? Okay, so as you understand, virtualization is a computing. Virtualization is the act of creating a virtual version of something. So in general, if somebody say, "Hey, what is virtualization?" So the definition of virtualization is the act of creating a virtual version of something. Now, what is that something? This something may be a virtual computer, right? You used to hear word virtual computers or VMs, right? It may be the hardware virtualization. It may be the storage virtualization. So when we talk about the cloud, whatever storage you create, actually that's a virtual storage, right? Because you store on the hard disk, but whatever space is allocated to you based upon your selection, that's the virtual storage. It may be the network, right? So in your organization on-prem, we have a network, but when we use cloud, we create virtual network. We call it VNet. So virtualization is the act of creating a virtual version of something at the same abstraction level. So that's the key to understand, at the same abstraction level. Okay, and we took the example, it can be VNet, virtual network, it can be virtual computers, we call it VM in cloud. Now, what exactly it happened, how this works. So there's the hardware at the background. So it hardware can be a cluster of computers. So we will take example of creating a virtual machine, VM. So how the VM is created. So there's the hardware, right? Hardware is, it may be the one server. There may be a cluster of servers, right? In general scenarios, that will be a cluster of servers is the hardware. Okay, that include everything. That include your memory, it includes CPU, include your hard disk, everything, anything related to hardware. Now, what you do actually, you have a host, host OS, host operating system. Host operating system can be any. It can be your Linux, it can be your Windows, right? So you have a, operating system which we call a host operating system over that hardware, and then the virtualization is start when you install a hypervisor. So hypervisor is nothing. Hypervisor is a software. It's again a software basically which is installed on host OS, which manage your virtualization, right? Uh, there are the multiple hypervisor software available. Like one is from VMware. We call it VMware. The virtual box from Oracle, and it may be the Hyper-V and many more, right? So three, we can take example VMware, VirtualBox, and Hyper-V. So these are three hypervisor software. So over, on the host operating system, you install a hypervisor. Hypervisor, as I said, it can be any software. It may be, VMware, it may be VirtualBox from Oracle, it can be Hyper-V. So install that, that tool, and what that tool, that software does, it use to create your virtual VMs, right? And now that VM is exactly, if you look at this image, this VM1, VM2, VM3, VM4, right? It is exactly the copy of your hardware. The only thing is you define how much memory you need for a particular VM based upon, your requirement. You can install your own operating system. You have to, it may be Windows, it may be Linux, and then over that operating system you install your apps, right? So this act as a, complete server. There's no difference in actual, if you use a hardware, a actual server, or use a VM server, right? Virtual machine as a server. And the good thing about virtualization is it is very quick. So let's say you have a two servers in your organization, and you need third one. It require time, right? You finalize what configuration you are going to have, then you raise the POs, and that goes in purchasing department, and they buy it, right? There's a process, takes months in the organization, depend again what the process that organization has. If you have the virtualization setup in your organization, so you already have cluster of your servers where on the base of need, when let's say software development team asks, okay, I need a server to host a XYZ application, maybe in couple of minutes you can configure your server, a virtual server basically, and hand over to them. It's so quick. So this is great, right? So I hope it is clear what is virtualization. Now let's just understand what are the benefit of the virtualization. Why we do the virtualization, what is the need of the virtualization, and the need always come from the requirement, need always give some benefit. So the first benefit of virtualization enables you to better utilization of hardware. Why it is better utilization of hardware? You have a cluster of servers, and maybe you created four virtual servers over that cluster. All four servers may not be required same memory and same computation power at the same time, right? So if at a particular time one server need more memory, may need one more computing power, so they can use the more memory and more computation power from the host. Others are using less that point of time. So basically this is a pool, right? The cluster of servers I'm referring, that is cluster of resources, and based upon the need, we are creating the virtual machine or virtual servers over that cluster, and based upon the requirement by the application or whatever tool you are using, they swap it, right? They use it. So that's why we're saying virtualization enables us better utilization of hardware. The second benefit, faster deployment of resources, else you have to buy new hardware. As we took the example, if you have the two servers today and your development team requested one more server, if you are not using virtualization, you will have to buy a new server, right? And this buying process may take a month, again depend on your organization. And if you are using virtualization in your organization, in couple of minutes you can prepare a server and hand over to development. So this is so fast, right? This is just amazing, unbelievable. Now, third benefit is cost effective. Why it is cost effective? Because you have purchased, a cluster, a set of servers, and then you are using that for multiple purpose. You are creating multiple servers over those servers, right, based upon the new requirements. So this is cost effective as well. Now, fourth one, better uptime edge. If one server in cluster goes down, this is just fantastic. So let's say you have your application hosted on a server, and the server goes down by any mean, right, by any region, your application will be down. But if you are using virtualization, if you have created a virtual machine on that server, because in the background there's a cluster of servers, right? And you will never have that visibility which server has your virtual machine, right? Because that's behind the hypervisor. But the good thing is, if that particular server where a virtual machine or virtual server is hosted, it goes down, that virtualization management software automatically move your virtual machine to different server. So the benefit will be your application will never goes down until a single server in the cluster is up and running. So that's how we say, okay, better uptime, as if one server is in cluster goes down, that VM migrated to another server. Okay, I think that's it for virtualization. I hope this will help you to understand what exactly virtualization is and why do we need the virtualization. Thank you very much for the time. Appreciate. If you like this video, I would request you to please like it, subscribe my channel, because I keep posted new videos on different topics. So if you subscribe, you will get the notification. Thank you very much for the time. Talk to you later.